Welcome to the TikTok Drop Capsule, where we document the chaos before history forgets it.
Get ready for your little PPP loan, because you got to pay it back.
Destiny was charged with fraud swindle to obtain property under $20,000 and 3 counts of fraud false statement to obtain re-employment assistance.
17 members of the Broward Sheriff's Office, which include both BSO deputies and detention deputies, released from the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale after being indicted on charges that include wire fraud after federal investigators said they fraudulently applied for and received funds.
This is Elaine Esco. She's now considered a fugitive. Esco is now accused of stealing $34 million in COVID-19 relief money.
Esco has been on the run since June after she didn't show up to court here. Now, she was indicted just months after getting out of jail earlier this year on similar charges for wire fraud. The fugitive, who also went by the alias Annie Palmer, is accused of pocketing COVID relief money totaling $34 million. Federal agents say she and others were part of an elaborate scheme involving wire fraud and money laundering. The indictment claims Esco submitted more than 90 applications for PPP and other COVID relief programs by using false information about employee numbers, payrolls, and revenue over an 18-month span in 2020. And it says Esco was considered the ringleader.
Yet Operation PPP targeted county jail inmates who falsified PPP loan applications and received thousands of dollars, some even using that money to bond out of jail. The police chief here says this operation will help put them back in jail and will help reduce gun violence and drug trafficking in his city. 25 Will County Jail inmates already locked up for weapons and drug felony cases are now facing charges like wire fraud and theft.
Some of the targets bonded out on their felony cases days after receiving their fraudulent PPP loan.
Operation PPP began in November of last year. Detectives began to compare names on Paycheck Protection Program loans to names of inmates facing felonies, which should have disqualified them from the financial assistance. So far, 15 of them have been charged. Police are still looking for these 10.
The majority of them also use their home address. So we did several periodic spot checks on the residence. It just looked like a residence.
For example, Maria Beach and Adrian Clark, locked up during the pandemic for unrelated gun offenses. From their cell, they applied for and received PPP loans. Maria claimed to run a barber shop from this home in Rockdale. Adrian claimed to run a barber shop from an apartment in this Joliet house. Maria received nearly $21,000 in federal loans. Adrian, who has a history with Joliet police, got 2 PPP loans for the same barbershop location, totaling $42,000. Both are now part of the 15 locked up again. Joliet police had help from U.S. Marshals, the Will County State's Attorney's Office, Department of Labor, and Homeland Security.
These PPP loans, that if they're obtaining them fraudulently, they're taking that money out of the businesses in our local area that actually need them.
The acting special agent in charge for Chicago's Homeland Security Office says this type of PPP loan fraud has been happening across the country. In Joliet, Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 30.
So apparently some people thought PPP stood for personal party payment. During the pandemic, the government rolled out Paycheck Protection Program loans, meant to keep small businesses afloat. But somehow, a few folks decided that running a TikTok page, braiding 2 heads of hair a month, or selling sneakers out of the trunk of their car qualified as a corporation. And now, the feds are knocking. People are getting arrested faster than you can say forgivable loan.
People are now going to jail for taking out PPP loans back in 2020 when they really didn't need to. Now, the woman that I showed you there has gotten the biggest sentencing that any of us have seen. She is going to prison for 9.5 years. She is currently counting down.
Arrest warrants are dropping. Arrests are being made right now as we speak. Do you know who's going down? The first person is Love and Hip Hop star, was sentenced to over 17 years in federal prison for misusing PPP loan money. They use it on child support allegedly and luxury items. The next person to go down is an Olympic skater. For $10 million, he screwed the government for $10 million. You know what he used the money for? To finance a film with our tax money. Lisa Bloom, allegedly a prominent attorney in Los Angeles, a woman who represented all the accusers for that Harvey Weinstein weirdo. They had to pay a fine of $274,000. These cases underscore that PPP funds, that free money wasn't so free. Did you lie on your application? Are you on the list? The list is right down here. I'm going to send you to ProPublica PPP tracker. Check to see if your name's on the list. You're going to be surprised of all the companies. Put your old business in there. Put your neighbor in there. You're going to see all the people that got free money.
Destiny Harris, she allegedly told the detectives that she did not file as she was working full-time, but after police accessed her bank records, it was found that she had received $19,975. Harris scheduled to meet with the detective on January 2023 but failed to show. She was contacted several times after and the phone would go straight to voicemail. A letter was then sent to her listed address, however the letter was returned as undeliverable. But Destiny failed to realize that due to this her case remained active and eventually police would come knocking.
There. Looks like, sitting at the table. He's sitting. Is there a table? I think so.
Howard, can you see him? The guy looks like he just ran over and grabbed a dog.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Destiny?
What's going on?
Are you Destiny?
We have a couple people here.
Okay.
That's the inquiry. I'm not the residential owner. Something going on?
Are you Destiny?
No, ma'am.
Okay, can I speak with Destiny, please?
May I ask what it's regarding? Casper, quiet. May I ask what it's regarding, please?
Are you Destiny?
Can I inquire, what it's for, and then I can make a consensus, if you don't mind?
I'm asking you if you're Destiny.
Here's the wild part. Some of them were students. Instead of worrying about finals, they were filling out loan applications like, yes, my dorm room is totally my headquarters and my roommate counts as an employee. Spoiler, the Department of Justice wasn't buying it. Now, instead of walking across the graduation stage, they're walking into court hearings. Instead of Sally Mae calling, it's their lawyer. And let me tell you, the interest rate on bail, way higher than student loans.
Okay, TikTok, let's talk about the PP loan arrest warrant list.
On her TikTok her next 30 days here before she goes and surrenders and gives herself up to police. This woman here was making a video telling people that you did not have to take out the PPP loan. Everybody was doing it back in 2020 and now they're finally starting to go to jail. And we don't know exactly how long this guy is going away for, but he said, I might be going away for a while. That PPP loan came back to bite me. And as people in his comment section pointed out, you thought you were committing fraud, was doing something right. I got $40K in PPP loans and 100% went to pay my employees and I got a forgiveness letter with no issues. My PPP loan was great. I followed the guidelines, used it correctly, helped my business, all was forgiven. And as you see these articles right here, when you look up PPP loan, the last one, the fourth one right there, back in October, but in the past 11 hours, 3 different people have been charged with crimes regarding their PPP loan. So if you know anyone that got a PPP loan in 2020, check on them.
Remember back in the time around COVID time, people were taking trips, honey. People were buying new cars. People had new lace fronts. People had new men. Baby, they was living it up, baby. They was doing the most. When I tell you, around COVID time, people was in the Bahamas. People was living their best life. They was rich. And, as time went on, they was brazen with it. They ain't gonna do nothing to us. That's, I'm from Tampa, Florida. So you remember back when it was tax fraud and PPP fraud, everybody was feeling like they was untouchable with the PPP situation. And people kept saying, y'all gonna get caught up in that shit. Well, I'll be damned. That list is long as hell. Now, during that time, I was, still working during COVID, and I'm looking at people just living their best ass life, going in, having a good time, buying homes, buying new cars. I was feeling some type of way. But some said, bitch, don't you do it. Don't do it. Because they was like marketing. You go to this person and, they hook it up and you get $23,000. You give them $15,000. I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just stick to the highways and the byways. Well, thank God I did, because honey, baby, listen, I hope you got some of that money. The feds have a 95% conviction rate. I hope you got some money, because you're gonna need some good ass lawyers. Straight up, I'm just gonna tell you. And if you ain't got no bond money, because I know by now you done spent all that money, because you don't manage money good, so you probably ain't got no bond money. You probably don't know nobody with some money, so you stuck. So the next option, your second option, is to start snitching. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting, because when people in them feds start rolling out, oh, we give you 10 years, 15 years, bitches start singing like a hummingbird. So I wonder who's going to be snitching on everybody to cut down their time. This is going to be a shit show. This is going to be a shit show here in Tampa. Because I know when them feds get together and start talking, like, if you tell on this person, you give us a connection, we might could work out a little deal with you. Bitches going to be sliding their mama, their daddy, their sister, their brother, their cousin straight under the bus. Best friends, all friends are off limits right now, because everybody's going to start telling on everybody. So, listen, make sure you get to the feds first before they do. Okay, I'm just telling you. Make your case first. If you ain't got no bond money, you ain't got no lawyer, make sure you get to the feds and start telling your story first. I'm just putting it out there. Because whoever I ain't gonna snitch on nobody, you finna get all that time. And that's day for day. Ain't no game time in feds, okay? So you girls that had that money back in the days, honey, the roosters have come home to roost. So good luck with that.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. On this great Monday morning. Yeah, that part right there. Look at him. It's Monday. You can get on up. Get your good bays. B-A-Z-E. Yes. And go ahead and get the week started. We made it through the weekend, y'all. I know I look like I've been punched in the face. Yo, this is what happened when God punched in the face. When trips were real good. That part right there. But look at him. I need everybody to get in promise, purpose, and position. You do. Because you have to do some work to get there. You got to do some work to get your PPP loan. And that's your promise, your purpose, and your position. You got to do the work to get there. That part, okay? You understand? All right. Good morning again. Yeah, let's get on up. Do what we got to do. It's Monday.
But here's the human piece. Desperation makes people do questionable things. The pandemic shook everyone. Jobs disappeared, rent didn't pause, and the system isn't exactly built with safety nets. For some, it felt like their only shot. Still, the consequences are no joke. Fraud charges don't fade from your record like a bad haircut. They follow you. They block jobs, apartments, and yes, those precious credit approvals. Basically, you traded a student loan headache for a federal case migraine.
I can't go to jail, Mom.
I understand. So that you have to go. I don't know what's going on, but You can't fight it.
On September 13, 2024, a woman named Destiny Harris gets a knock on her door from police with a warrant for her arrest for unemployment fraud that she allegedly committed 4 years ago. But let's take it back to 2020. In the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak, numerous Americans lost their jobs, resulting in a significant rise in unemployment applications. This also led to some people attempting to exploit the system for benefits they were not eligible for. A financial investigator with the Department of Economic Opportunity informs a detective in the city of Delray Beach that 4 people had reported they received unemployment claims by employees who were still currently employed. An investigation was then initiated. 3 months later, after all the information was collected on the claimants, their phone providers were issued subpoenas. Detectives find one of the claimants was victim of identity theft while the other 3 had filed for benefits themselves. Each employee was paid the minimum $275 a week and did not have hours reduced. Therefore, they were not eligible to file with DEO. Fast forward to December 2022, the detectives speak to each claimant over the phone and meet for an in-person interview. 2 of them all filed unemployment claims for themselves when they should not have been entitled to the benefits, but there was insufficient evidence to support a criminal charge for filing a fraudulent unemployment claim, as they believed they were filing based on the work status of a secondary employment. As for
You mind cooking here? That's what I said. If you go right between the cars over here, if you're gonna go in this car over here. Pineapple? Okay. Charcuterie? I don't take everything off. Thank you.
Update on the PPP warrant. So I didn't think that it was real at first because it's been about 3 years since I did mine. And man, I'm gonna take my lick because at the end of the day, I knew what I was doing when I did it. I knew that it was a possibility that, everything could go sideways. I see a lot of comments, people got negative shit to say. They want to say, oh, you committed fraud, you knew what you was doing whenever you did it. And I get that, I get it, it's all good. But at the end of the day, man, every time somebody going through a negative situation in their life, y'all want to add negativity to the negative situation as if it's not already negative enough. Most people don't understand, when we was doing our thing, man, shit, it's hard out here. A lot of people don't understand, man. I'm already a convicted felon. I did damn near 8 years, 7 years and 9 months to be exact. And shit hard. And so, I'm going to just take my lick on the chin, man.
The girls are coming on here and telling their story about how they had to do federal time for those PPP loans. And I'm not going to lie to you, I feel bad for them because not only do they have to pay back their own loans, they have to pay back other people's loans also. Plus due time, like like 2 to 9 years kind of time. Not to mention some of these girls have little kids. Some of them are pregnant now. This was over 4 years ago. I see a lot of comments talking about, oh, they did the crime, they should be doing the time. And I get it. But damn, y'all, that is really sad. I don't know who needs to hear this, but just a friendly reminder, don't do it because it will come back to haunt you.
If you or somebody did the PPP loan, y'all better tuck y'all tail because they is clapping shit. They is not playing. They is coming back for I'm steady seeing stories about people got to go to jail. People already then went to jail. The people telling them they either got to pay a significant amount of money or they got to go away. And these is people that legit had businesses. So imagine for y'all people that y'all better tuck y'all tail and stay off the radar, because that's one thing about the feds. They'll let you think you did that. They'll let you think you got away. They're going to wait it out. And then boom, when you least expect it, they coming to your door. So let me know in the comments if y'all know some people finna go to jail.
Because that's crazy.
So the transformation? This is a wake-up call. Quick money might feel like survival, but accountability always cashes in. If you're struggling with debt, student loans, or otherwise, the answer isn't to turn yourself into a fake CEO on paper. It's finding real, legal solutions that don't end with your mugshot trending on Twitter. Bottom line, if your loan application looks like a meme, the FBI already has it bookmarked.
PPP loan. Arrest.
Damn, bruh. Gator going to jail, man. Damn. Damn, cuz. Damn, cuz. This is how it be, man. On the river. Down by the river, man. Hey. Damn. Niggas coming 4 deep. Down by the river. Damn. Tell you, man, this here every day, bro. Every day, man. The spot hot, bro. For real. We'll pull up in the paddy wagon. Damn.
But if you received a PPP loan, they have on the tax software this year that I noticed that, and they had it last year actually, but they have it on there that you have to report that amount that you received, the amount that was forgiven as.
I'm trying to be cool, but goddamn.
I just got off the phone with the lawyer. He's telling me the best options that I have are to turn myself in. Like, what did I do to deserve